Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019. This is Stage Racer, episode number 59. We're on to Paris-Nice. Before we can get into it, though, at the turn of the month, we leveled up. So now at level 25. First off, we have a skill point. And where to use that one? Well, we're doing pretty good on knowing the riders around us, but it's not quite perfect yet. Willpower never comes up, so I'm okay without that one. Thinking about getting into finishing off network. Just so we can get whatever team we want for next season. Let's do it. It could be a while before we level up again, so we'll finish that category off. Okay, and then of course in the other area, hitting level 25, we have leveled up our attributes as well. We've added a point to hills, and since it was completed before I recorded this one, and around the time that we finished the other one, it's been over a week. And of course with all the other series going on, and sickness, and me going on, all that fun stuff. I know we picked up a point, I think, in both stamina and resistance. The recovery is now in 80. Hills and mountain look very solid. Time trial right there on the verge. I think we picked up another point in acceleration, and I think we picked up 1 point in sprint. But we did balance it out as best we could, as always. And yeah, that's where we're at. So, not the greatest distribution of attribute points this time around compared to what it could have been, but as you get later they give you less and less, so you deal accordingly and move on. Wow, we've been on a different team every year. And there's a good chance we'll be on a different team next year as well, just moving on up the peloton to stronger and stronger teams. We'll see though. I've really enjoyed this season so far. Let's get into another race and see if we can do something effective in 4 of 4. Stage 4 is an individual time trial. The first 3 stages were all sprint stages. And speaking of sprint stages, regardless of who won those stages, the field is packed with sprinters. There is a lot of top sprinters at this race competing for those stage wins. That's a good sign for us, because that does thin the field out a little bit as we get ready to set out with a -2. Ouch. The prologue -2 does hurt us slightly, and we're going to want to save some energy for the end, because it doesn't look like much, but when you get in there 8.5%, 17.2 near the top on that final climb on this time trial, so you've got to have some spare energy for that. So we'll kind of cruise along for now and then try to use what we can on that climb as the rain begins to fall. This is not necessarily a good thing here early on in this stage, though there's no wind to speak of, so I think the conditions should be okay as long as we don't fall. 25.5 minutes is roughly the time. I really like the reasonable objectives that my team are placing on me. They are looking for a top 10 classification, which I think is very much within our wheelhouse. Third, 13 seconds down, but we will more than cover that on this climb. We're going to speed things up now, start picking up the pace before we get to climb so we can attack it a little bit quicker. And here we go, 3K to go. And already around that corner, you just lose a ton of pace. We do come out of it at 27k per hour, but you can see the slowdown has begun as we're up to 5%, 28k an hour.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
This is going to drain through energy really quickly. 1.5k to go. The really steep section is coming, and we're going to be able to take it at quite the pace here compared to everyone else. Yeah, look at this. Look how fast we're catching this Cartero guy. Final 500 meters, and we still have some energy left, but it's fading quickly. Oh, too fast. Wow, we burned right through it. Oh, that's not good. We're going to lose a little bit right here at the finish, but still good enough to move into the lead for now. That's even ahead of Evenepoel and Fulsang, who are usually up there on time. Cartero, who we didn't end up passing, is actually good enough for 4th place right now, so apparently he is a decent time trialist. Cotterill behind us goes 3rd quickest, and so we end up with really, we didn't pass anybody and no huge gap behind us, but that's because both of them moved into the top 5. I don't think that time was going to be good enough to win. Didn't quite judge it correctly. We ran out of energy before the finish. But I think I definitely made up some solid time on the climb. I mean, if we're that far ahead of Evenepoel, 15 seconds ahead of Froome, I think we are in pretty good shape. We're 8 seconds ahead of Dumoulin. I think that was the closest competitor that I was worried about in this one when you combine the climbing ability and time trial ability. Rowan Dennis is technically the favorite, but I would have said Dumoulin probably would have won the stage. Carapaz goes 5th. Martinez is 6th. Rowan Dennis just 16th quickest. That's what I was expecting. Bennert goes 2nd quickest, 8 seconds down. We might have a stage win here. Roglic, same time but slower. Less than a second behind. We might have it. We might have it. Just under 24 minutes. It's going to be close. Is that all? No, that's not all. There's more to come. Actually, there's a lot that haven't even started. Jakobsen is near the top of the order. And he just now heads out on track. So the last 10-15 riders should be coming in. Okay, maybe the last 20 riders. A lot of guys coming in together here. A lot of sprinters, which means we're not going to see good time trialists here. So I think I might have the stage. There you go. I got it. Stage victory. Same time with Roglic, but just enough. Dumoulin, Bennert, 8 seconds down. Froome, 15 down. Evenepoel, 17 down. Carapaz, Martinez, Bernal, and Cotterill. Wow. Okay. Oh, but Roglic gets the leader's jersey. Yes, that makes perfect sense. I win the stage, but he gets the leader's jersey. Oh, game. How I loathe thee sometimes. Well, I guess that makes sense. It's not stage 1. We are 4 stages into this race, and apparently he finished ahead of me on the previous 3 stages that we quick-simmed through because they were sprint stages. So for that, yeah, okay, it makes sense. It's not the first day of the race. Just the first one that I partook in. All right. Well, there you go. To the top of the standings. Maybe not in the jersey, but... And a stage victory. And that's an exceptional status. And there's the difference, right? This team, realistic expectations. We exceeded them. And they're actually happy. We gained 30 points. And look, who's happy already? And that's the halfway point of Paris-Nice. But got to know that there is climbing to come. Never a whole lot, though. Stage 5 is not for climbers. but it's 6, 7, 8. Oh boy, is it 6, 7, 8. 8. 8's not bad, but we'll see on 6. Still 80 kilometers to go on stage 6. The sprinters are done for this race. The focus now on the GC the rest of the way. I'm picked as the favorite today, and my team agrees. There aren't punchy climbers here. So the punchers did not show up. The GC guys did. And of the GC guys, my 80 hills rating is better than anybody else's. And you can see this ends on a punchy little climb after 2 GC style mountain climbs. So as we prepare for those, we've got 2 small climbs in between. We're already on one of them now. We are going to speed it up a little bit as the road thins out as we go over the top. 12 riders got away, and they still have a pretty good gap. We've got a bit of a separation over the top of that first little climb, just based on steepness alone. I think a lot of it will come back together before our Category 1 climb upcoming. Oh, Thibaut Pinot with a flat. Could be bad for him if he gets it recovered quick enough, though. He might latch on. Let's see, is he in? I don't see his name, but he might not necessarily be listed in the top 10. Shockman, Micah have both been dropped. No sign of Pinot in any group, so it's hard to say whether he's around or not. Pace has picked up. I'm already blinking red here, so let's make sure we take care of that. Is anybody planning on getting water?
The gap is widening. It's now
Apparently not.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway,
Let's
given that the pack has
send
increased its speed.
Jakobsen. You've got the pace to do this. Oh, you're way up front. Well, that's not good. Lacking a bit of the team support today. MP just now getting to me, but he's not going to last long. So it looks like I will be going over these couple climbs alone. But if my whole team is tired, then a whole lot of other riders are tired as well. And you can see that there's quite a few riders that are still off the back. And there were riders off the back before we went over the Category 2 climb, which means we've just had a relentless pace throughout the day. Still a pretty big gap to the 12 riders out front. The good news is that they've split off into 2 groups, hurting themselves. They're going to have to work twice as hard. Riders at the front trying to keep up some sort of pace. But it's still 2:15 to the front of those 2 groups as we approach the first of these 2 Category 1 climbs. I think this one was not quite as bad. Jakobsen coming back through the field with water, but we are just about to the climb. And I don't know if he'll get up to me or not. We just got hung up there for a second, and we turn onto the climb. Jakobsen is gonna come up short, I think. Yeah, he's out of energy. He made it that close. Everybody gets water but me. I don't even have support anymore. Well, that's not pleasant. I'm going to have to grab water myself after we go over the top of this climb. For now, though, we just sit on and ride to the top. Starting to pull back breakaway riders one by one. Peloton down to 39. I don't expect any attacks on this climb, but you never know. Ineos feeling pretty confident. 3 riders up front leading the way. Little acceleration there. And we go over the top. And we need to grab water all by ourselves. 25 riders. Oh, come on. No, you stupid son of a... Oh, I hate this game sometimes. Seriously, there is no reason for me to be dropped. None. Make contact. I'm still not making contact here. Come on. Finally into the group. That was freaking ridiculous. And now instead of recovering, I'm out of energy. Because one guy at the back of the peloton got dropped when I got water? How ridiculous is that? Alright, well, we sit on, we recover as best we can here during the descent. 8 riders left off the front, still split off into 2 groups, but 6 at the very front, looking pretty strong. They've got a minute 20, so we pulled back 1 minute on that climb. Which means there's little chance that they go on to win, but that also depends on the impetus of our chase, with just 22. There's not going to be a whole lot of chase in it. Recovery looking a little bit better now, but still pretty poor. One more downhill section here to recover a bit of energy, which we very much need. The front is split off even further now. That's good for us. Yep, they just came back together. The 2 that were dropped. And not fully recovered. But unless we have some sort of big attack, I should be able to get over the top of this climb okay. And I'm done with water. But I'm also done with teammates. Ineos have at least a couple around. It's Bennett right behind us, their leader. And they've still got Kwiatkowski. They've still got Chris Froome and whoever's up front right now. Cotterill. Gianni Moscon. Wow, they brought a very good team to this race as we head up, up, and up. This one, the steepest section was right where we just were. It's going to level off here in just a moment. And then be easy for a while before ramping up a bit. But look how tired I am just through that section. Now we're down to 5 riders on the front. They have less than a minute. In fact, we're pulling back time pretty quickly on them. 40 seconds now. They're splitting off, trying to stay ahead. 2 riders getting dropped. Rayner and Túnez. Just 3 riders left off the front. We pull them back. Peloton's getting even smaller. With those 2, we were down. Not counting those 2 who just got pulled back, we're down to 18. I'm out of energy. I am out of energy. Shoot. All because of water. All because of water. F that. And speaking of really unpleasant times here, I managed to draw a -2 on form again. So this is not all about the water. Stamina and resistance are both very low today. And that -2 is quite unfathomable as the front of the field has been pulled back. But I'm losing the stage and the race right on, not this climb, on the previous climb, with all of that energy that had to go into chasing through the first, third of the descent. Come back into a group of 6, but there's 15 riders ahead, plus 1 in between. No, he's back on 16 riders there. They are attacking each other a little bit, but we're just sitting on. I need to recover here, so I could try to cover things down, but we're a minute 40 behind. That was unfortunate. But yeah, 1 rider gets dropped as I put my arm up to get water, and they latch me onto him. It really bugs me. Really bugs me. But yeah, the -2 race day condition is certainly a part of it. And 2 for 2 in stages of this race, when I have a 0 expected race day condition. In fact, looking at the details, which I did prior to this stage, looking closely at the details, I'm at about a positive 0.8. I mean, we're as close to a +1 as you can get without actually getting the +1 on your expected race day condition. And yet we've managed to draw a -2 in 2 for 2 times. We're 3.5 minutes behind, so the race is over. We're not catching those guys. Wow, really? He just rides right off the front. And we just sit on. There wasn't even an attack. There was no acceleration. He just rode off the front. Acrobatic on your descent here. Let's see if we can catch him. We have plenty of energy. That was Valence. There you go. We'll latch on here. We lost more time during that period. Oh, that group just got massive, and they're only 10 seconds behind us. Oh, and they've caught us. That's awesome. So, waste of energy. It doesn't matter anymore. Our race is over with. 16 riders at the front, way ahead of us. And now no energy for the finish. Bad day on the bike.
Today the victory goes to Dennis.
Oh, and Benner takes the win. Great. Okay, we open a little separation to this group. 1K to go. Lopez takes second, Berdal third, Martinez, Bardet, Kwiatkowski coming up on the finish, just running out of energy around that final corner. Easily leave my group behind, easily win what could have been 17th. Tomorrow's a big climbing day. At least I can go for the stage. GC is now long gone. Early stage yet. And I decided I wanted to try to get into the breakaway and see what could happen. We do not have much energy. The field certainly doesn't want me to be in the breakaway, but I'm trying to force the issue. But unfortunately, we just got reeled back in. We nearly caught that small breakaway to make it 9, but we didn't quite have enough energy, as it was my maybe 4th time trying to attack, and others were attacking and being chased as well, not just myself. So I knew it wasn't an impossible task to get into the break, but it definitely was not going to be easy. The reason for that, of course, was we lost a ton of time, down to 17th overall. I figured we could go on and easily win the stage if we could get into the break and have a hefty start heading into that penultimate climb. I could go on solo and just take this thing. From now, it looks like I'll have to do it in the group. I could still maybe attack on the penultimate climb to go for it solo, but it's not going to happen from the break, as the breakaway now 4 minutes ahead. First big climb of the day. It was technically 2 climbs back to back, but as it was level for a while in between, we had to wait some. That last stage, not all of it was on the water, not all of it was on the race day condition. One thing we've got to remember is the reason why I've had some success to start this season has been team support. The team support's been good. Not only was the team nowhere to be seen on those climbs, and I was riding solo, so that's a factor, but additionally, the fact that I had to go back to grab water in the first place was because Jakobsen got water to everybody else on the team, but not to me. He didn't make it that far. And because he came up short, like right now, Barbaro's gotten water to everybody else. He's sitting right behind me, but he has not gone around and still has not brought water up. There you go. I finally get water, but I just rode 10 kilometers with everybody else on the team having water and us not. So the fact that I had to go back and get water myself was the decisive moment. And that's due to a lack of team support. Meanwhile, Ineos, they had a dozen riders. Yes, I know they don't actually even have a dozen riders here, but it certainly felt like they had a dozen riders left in the peloton on those climbs. No wonder Benner took the stage. And will take this race, most likely. 8-minute gap. See? Oh, man. If I could have made it. It was just those 8. I was seconds away from making that contact before the top of the climb. But the moment we leveled off, my flat rating sucks. So I tried to back up to the group behind me, catch a ride. And they themselves were backed up to the field. The moment I made contact with them, the field made contact with us. And that was that. Gap's down to 7:15, but yeah, if I had that gap, I would be winning this stage. Carthy, Micah, Higita, Betancourt, Mader, Visho. That's good climbers, but nowhere near my level. 7-minute gap. Now, theoretically, I'm the 9th rider. Maybe they don't give us as big of a gap. But then it hurts the peloton, right? And peloton's already down to 126, by the way. 121. So it's thinning out pretty quickly, and we're just now starting to actually ramp up the climb. Technically, we're halfway through it, but here comes the steep section.
Those guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends.
Average gradient was 5.3 for the entirety, but it's definitely more than that from here on till the top. Whoever was supporting me a moment ago is now gone. Scottson, luckily not too far behind to at least give me some cover. I wouldn't mind going early this time. I would not mind going early to go off to win this stage. But while I have Scottson here, I'll wait a little while. It's steep through here. I have the hills rating to open a gap. And then I've got the long descent to recover before hitting the other climb. Wouldn't be as easy to try to go solo for, how long is it? 16 kilometers? But if we have a big enough gap, we can make it work. Which means I would need to go soon. And Scottson just got dropped. So let's see if we can get out front. Bowman going a pretty quick pace. Quicker than I thought. Well, I'm blocked in at the moment, but let's see what happens. Okay, 3K to go to the top. So I think we could try to push about an 89. I've already opened a 53-second gap. 2K to go. Let's back off a little bit. We got to save some energy to get to the top. Minute 10. Keep going here. 1K to go. Ooh. A little too low on energy for 1K. Nearly to the top. Now we go 99. We're going to lose a little pace here. But we've opened up a 1.5-minute gap over the peloton. And because I'm 420 down, they're not going to care as much. Alright, now we can set up. We want to recover. I need to recover first, and then we can try to go arrow. They may pull back time, but this really is important that we recover. And they're not pulling back time right now. We're out to almost a 2-minute gap. But we're 6 minutes behind the front of the field, so they are going to almost certainly take the stage. Halfway down, not halfway recovered.
The pack seems resigned to leaving the victory to the escapees.
Boy, this is less steep than I thought it was. Hard to recover on this descent. And we haven't fully recovered. And my gap is down to a minute 15. Alright, we're going to have to speed up a
And now
bit.
we're into the final
And
climb. The riders
we're gonna
know
try to go
the
arrow.
ladies at the top. We've got
We have
18
18 kilometers. Let's go ahead and grab water. It's a long ways to go without any. Still in the arrow position to go a little bit quicker through here. My bad flat rating though. Down to about a minute. So we're going to start the climb with a minute head start.
The lead is being cut. A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack.
Okay, we're going
They
to try an
obviously don't
80
have
for
anybody in the
pace.
breakaway group.
I should be able to maintain that for a good long while. There's Mater, Senny. We'll just ride with them for a little bit. 36 seconds. I gotta go. Ah, there's the peloton. Okay, we just sit on. Five-minute gap though to the front, meaning not gonna get the stage, not gonna get the GC. No party.
10 kilometers left.
No party for me, but I knew it wasn't going to be a perfect season. That much was clear. And I knew that there was going to be potentially some struggles with Mitchelton Scott after all those climbers left the team at the end of the season. Just find it unfortunate kind of how that just happened. Bardet.
Bardet's off.
Oh, the list of those left behind goes on rising.
Okay, we got a front three. Lopez, Bardet, and I. I have no reason to do the work, so I'll just sit on. And they pulled us back. Why are you hanging out over here where we can't see
It's in
anything?
such percentages that the strongest can create some.
I'm stuck pushing to that left edge. Latour and Carapaz are going.
Attack by Pierre Latour. Counter-attack by Romain Bardet.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 5 kilometers road sign.
Next attack.
Counter-attack by Thibaut Pinot.
Group's down to 12. Oh, Bardet Martinez actually did get off the front. Wow, there goes my energy. Really? Well, I did start with less energy, didn't I? Wasn't fully recovered down the descent. Rode all alone. I had to try something, and now suffer for it. So we get dropped by the final 9 guys.
Another attack. This time it could go.
They're not going on and winning the stage anyway, so I suppose it really doesn't matter. Micah takes the stage. I would have easily beat them. Carthy. Bardet takes 3rd. Bennett 4th. Lopez, Bernal, Carapaz, Dumoulin, Froome. Martinez, I finished 13th on the stage. Not the race we were hoping for, and nothing left to really ride for on the final stage. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this race up and recognize that we suffer our first failure of the season. But after 3 straight successes, we can't even chalk this one up entirely as failure either. We won a stage. Should have done better overall. But luck today, well, not today, luck for this week went against us. It was not to be. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye for now.